Hey everyone!
Welcome to our brand new energy efficient home.
So we're located about an hour and a half out of Melbourne in beautiful regional Victoria. We actually bought this block of land in 2021 during lockdown without seeing it, which felt like a bit of a risk at the time, but we're absolutely loving it. We developed the plans with a local architect. We started building 8 months ago, and as of today, we've been in the house for 1 month. And actually, this is probably a good place to start the tour because what we're standing on right now is our worm farm waste system. So this is an alternative to a septic system. Basically, we've got a tank of worms that break down our compost, so our fruit and veg scraps, we put them into the tank, all the black water comes in, and what you end up with on this field is worm juice essentially. And so we can plant fruit and veg here, we can plant all sorts of things, and it's always going to have that constant field of irrigation. So far so good. We have been loving this approach to wastewater. So we actually designed the house with solar in mind, the roof obviously all being north and at the right pitch for those panels to just blend in perfectly with that monument roof cladding. We have 9.24 kilowatts of solar, which is 21 Jinko Tiger Neo panels, all feeding directly into the Powerwall, which I'll show you in a moment. The install was done by Jet Solar. We were really happy with it. They did it all in one day. And pretty much since we moved in, we've been self-sufficient. So we haven't really had to pull from the grid whatsoever, which has been a pretty amazing feeling. So all of the planting we've done on the block so far has been 100% native, which means that they grow in this type of region a lot easier and they look really good. They're great with the wildlife and the bees. And you'll see behind me, we've got a really long, skinny, rectangular house. And one of the things that drew us to this block of land back in 2021 was that it has a true north face to it. And so working with the local architect, we were able to establish all these great passive principles which make it really comfortable to live in, but more on that when we get inside. So coming round to the back of the house, you'll notice we have two 20,000 litre stainless steel water tanks. They are capturing all the rain from the roof of our house. And the reason we opted to pay a little bit more for stainless steel tanks is not only do they look great, but they also give you a high quality of drinking water. And then at the back, we've added on some extra filters and pumps to just bring the water pressure up in the house and make sure we can drink really great water from every tap. And this right here is our hot water storage. It's 270 litres and it is actually a heat pump by iStore. This is incredibly efficient. It is about 90% more efficient than our previous electric hot water system. It basically just runs off solar entirely and it cost us about $3,000 including installation. This is our air conditioning system. It's a Toshiba unit with iZone paired to it. It cost us a whopping $17,000 to install, which was a really big hit to our budget. We weren't expecting to pay this much. That being said, when we have had to use it, which is not very often given that it's got passive principles in the house, it has been really good. So it's all zoned. You can choose different rooms on and off, and every room has its temperature connected into the system. So it is a good system, but a very expensive one. And this is probably the thing I'm most excited about in the house, Powerwall 3, and I have been loving it. We basically get real-time data on the Tesla app about energy consumption within the house. It is 13.5 kilowatt hours of storage, so same as Powerwall 2, but it has doubled the output into the house. And we're noticing a massive difference. We really never have to pull from the grid because of this battery. We're also able to charge the car at 32 amps from this battery if we ever needed to. Powerwall 3 now has the inverter built in, and that actually gives it a slight gain in efficiency compared to Powerwall 2. So yeah, it has been absolutely awesome. The 1 month of living here, this has been my favorite thing. And then the last thing to show you outside is our Starlink. This is the Gen 3 version. We came from Gen 2 and we're actually noticing a massive difference in speed, and mostly because the router inside has greater connectivity, greater range. So we're able to update the Tesla from the carport, connect all devices throughout the home. In the countryside here, we're pulling about between 200 and 300 download, and that is just phenomenal compared to the other offering of NBN wireless. So yeah, game changer.
All right, now it's time for the inside of the house. Come on in. Okay, this is our entryway. Nice big space. We wanted this room to function not only as an entryway, but as a mudroom as well. We are in the country here, there is red dirt everywhere. So we wanted a space where we can sit down, take our shoes off, chuck them in the cupboard. It's also really cold here, so you have a lot of layers. We wanted somewhere where we can take our jackets off, beanies, all the things, put them away in a nice neat spot. So we love this space. We've got our $45 light here that we got from Beacon Lighting, and our Muto hooks we love. Okay, next up is our kitchen, living, dining space. This is really the heart of the home. I feel like this space really highlights the passive principles that we chose to include. So here we have a lot of north glazing. We are in a climate zone 7 here, so it gets really cold. North glazing is super important and really minimizing our east and west. We have chosen to go with a concrete slab for thermal mass. In winter here, we really want that sun coming in, hitting the glazing, hitting our floors, and then the concrete will slowly radiate the heat throughout the night. We also have calculated an eave across the north side using the latitude of the sun and the space that we're in to make sure in summer that the sun actually doesn't come in and hit the floors. So you're sort of getting both sides there. The concrete floor is going to cool you down in summer and it's going to heat you up in winter. We opted for 4 standard windows in here. Originally in our plans, it was going to be a long sliding door, but we saved about $10,000 with going with standard doors here. And I really like it because it means that we can pop in some wall sconces. And soon when we add in our curtains, we'll have space for those as well. Also, another passive principle that we included in this space is cross breeze, cross ventilation. So we have a couple of south windows. We also have some skylights that open up to the south to really get that cool breeze coming from Antarctica essentially. And when it's hot in the middle of the night, you have that cool breeze that comes through and just immediately cools down the space. We have included a lot of secondhand items in our living and dining space. We have our secondhand wood burner here. Even our ceiling fans are secondhand. Our dining table is secondhand. Just really bringing in that new and old, also to save a little bit of money. We love our couches. They're from King Living. We got them on a Black Friday sale, so that was a great steal. What else? Our walls, they are Dulux Seed Pearl. We wanted to go for a nice cream, earthy beige tone rather than that sort of stark white. All right, next up is the kitchen. This space is extremely important to me. I spend a lot of time in here. I love to cook. You might be surprised, but this kitchen is actually IKEA. We weren't going to go down that route. It wasn't something we planned. We really wanted to get some local cabinet makers, but the cost for our home was going to be $100,000 for cabinets, and it was like, we can't do that. So we opted for IKEA, and it's amazing. It is so functional, really sturdy, and I love all the choices that you have. We went for oak cabinets, or oak-like cabinets, the beige grey top cupboard, the Saljan countertop. We have a really nice Bosch induction stovetop, secondhand oven, which is great. We went for an ABI sink and ABI tap. And actually this island bench top was really tricky. We didn't know what countertop to choose. The IKEA countertops weren't going to be big enough and stone was just too expensive, or marble. So we ended up going for tiles. These are the same tiles that we use throughout the home in our bathroom. Our builder actually ordered 8 boxes too many of these tiles, And so we decided to put it on the island and we love it. It's better than what we were gonna do originally. Also, one of my favorite features about this home is we have a walk-in pantry. It is so handy. You can hide everything away, all of our big appliances, our fridge. There's a lot of storage in there. And yeah, this is our kitchen. Okay, moving into zone 2 of the house. This is our bedrooms and our bathrooms. First up is our powder room. Love this space. We have the skylight to add some natural light. We also have some really nice tile cloud tiles, which are my favorite. We even have secondhand toilets in here. So just trying to choose items that look expensive, but might not actually be expensive. And even our wall sconces are from Temple & Webster, super affordable. Moving on to our spare bedroom. Again, we have that north glazing with a standard size window. We don't have any curtains on yet, but we will, and that will be really handy. We also have IKEA wardrobes. They are big and perfect and so much storage and easy to use. The ceiling fans are, again, a really good way to cool the home. And it means, especially with passive principles, that you don't need to use conventional heating and cooling as much, or at least it reduces it. The ceiling fans are a big help. Then we have our guest bathroom here. We mixed in some tile cloud tiles. These are the same tiles as our island bench top. And then the bath, we chose to incorporate the powder room tiles to have that sort of finish. Now these rooms, because they aren't facing north, they are going to be cold in winter. So we opted to do some floor heating in here, which is so nice when you get out of the shower. We've gone with an ABI vanity, ABI mirror. It was actually Ryan's choice to do the tiles only halfway to save money, but I think it looks really expensive and it's a really nice architectural choice. Okay, in this space, which I'll open in a minute, but my daughter is in there. This is Willow's playroom. So nice to have a space for her. We have been moving around into like 4 different homes in the last 3 years. So to have something where I can put all her clothes out. She has her naps in here. It's so lovely. And again, with the north lighting for her, it's also a sliding door so she can go out and play, but it does lock. I can lock it so she can't escape. And in here is our laundry, which opens up into our garage. Again, this is all IKEA cabinetry. We chose to use their kitchen cabinets and manipulate them to work in our laundry. We've gone with the Saljan countertops. And in here, our tiles are actually from the op shop. I found them right before the tiler was going to be coming in. There was 2 boxes, they were $5 each. So this is $10 worth of tiles, which is amazing. And I love them. They have a 70s feel. We also have some tall cabinets in there that we can put our Dyson vacuum and all our linen. And then lastly, we have our master bedroom / study. This is where all of Ryan's editing happens. Also, I love to sew, so this is a great space for us. Again, this is IKEA. We used the kitchen cabinets and manipulated them to have a really nice desk. And I love that we can have 2 different zones. We've got that study, we added in a wall here, and behind there is our bedroom. We have our ensuite, which is very similar to our guest bathroom. Secondhand toilet, tile clad tiles, ABI, vanity. We have the floor heating in here as well. And this is actually our only west window. And we have an exterior blind, which I didn't mention previously, but we have exterior blinds on our east and our west to make sure the sun doesn't hit the glass, because when the sun hits the glass, it's similar to having a single radiator on. So it does really transmit a lot of heat. So that is helpful. We did get some DIY blinds here. And now let's head into our master bedroom. Come through this little walkway. Again, I love the separation between the study and the bedroom. This is such a big space. This is the biggest bedroom I've ever had, and I'm so grateful for it. We have the beautiful north glazing here. So this room is going to be beautiful and warm in winter. It's going to radiate through the night. We have some DIY blinds here. Nice full length mirror. This is a IKEA wardrobe. Ryan chose these really nice white handles. Even in here, I have a jewelry section that I can pull out, a bag section. It's just so functional. This is the last room of the house. Thank you for joining me.
What have been some of your biggest mistakes during the build?
Ooh, not as many as I thought we'd have. I think we were expecting to make a lot more mistakes than we have, and it's been pretty good. But the times that come to mind is when we tried to save money. So we got really cheap lights from a website where we couldn't even use any of them or return them. And we tried to use Airtasker to install some blinds, and that was a disaster. They're the two things that come to mind.
For me, I feel like we spent too much money on our heating and cooling, and that was $17,000.
Yeah.
So I sort of feel like I wish there was another option, and maybe if we added in, what's that system called when you get the fresh air coming through?
Yeah, the ventilation system, heat recovery ventilation system.
That would have been awesome if we could have spent our money more on that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What are you loving most about the house so far?
For me, probably having energy independence, not having to pull energy from the grid has been a really awesome feeling. And also having tank water, like fresh rainwater from all of the taps in the house, especially showering. We're noticing a massive difference between town water and our own rainwater.
What advice would you have for someone that is wanting to build a home like this?
I feel if you're wanting to build a house with passive principles in mind, an amazing resource was the Your Home website. It's the government website, and there's just so much information on there, and I really tapped into that.
Yeah, I think I would say also to second that, it's really important to consider the sun when you're building. So many houses in the countryside and in the city don't consider the sun. It is the most important thing in this house. So obviously where we are, being north facing and considering all your windows is super important.
What have been some of your biggest wins?
Ooh, probably the IKEA cabinetry for me. That was a really big win because it's turned out to be cost effective and work really well. It's super functional. Also, just the amazing builders we had and the amazing architect.
For me, it would be the op shop tiles. I just loved that I snatched them.
Yeah.
But also I'm just really proud that it all came together. We got pieces from all different places. We were never here, we lived far away, and all of the design choices have come together, and I just love how it's all come together, and that feels like a win to me.
Yeah, that was Paige. She did all this stuff. Like, I can't take the credit for it.
What other plans do you have for the house?
I don't think we have any plans for the inside of the house. Correct me if I'm wrong, there's nothing I can think of. I feel like it's quite finished, but I have so many plans for the outside, for the garden. You know, we're gonna have a big grapevine here, which will just help with that east sun, a veggie garden for the future, fruit trees. If I was really manifesting, it would be a natural pool as well.
Oh yeah, a natural pool. That
would be
nice.
really cool. Way down the track.
Yeah.
Would you recommend living in the countryside?
Yeah, it has been amazing for us. It's probably not suited to everyone, but for our lifestyle and our values, it has just been incredible. To me, it feels like this is the way that we're supposed to live, like outside of the city, with nature, with the land, spending a lot more time outside. You're much more aware of the seasons, the farmers markets, all your produce is picked locally. I mean, I could go on. It just feels so good to be out this way.
I agree. And to add to that, I mean, I grew up in the city, and I've always loved the city, but since moving out, I noticed the difference. I come back and it's just more intense. It's like a hustle that they don't have here. We've met so many people already. It definitely feels like a community. And there's just so much space. There's so many options.
Well, this has been our house. Thank you for coming along on the tour.
I was like, am I got in now? Is that it?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's all I was going to say.
Okay, go. We'll do it again.
I just keep rolling.
Yeah.
Let us know in the comments if there's any questions that you have or anything that you want to see in the future from us. But yeah, thanks so much.
Thanks for watching. See you next time.
See ya.